Hi there, my name is Brendan Sharp. I come from Adelaide in South Australia. I first met Nick running with a friend early one morning before work and became interested in his plight with the Jody Lee Foundation, which also in turn, knowing what his foundation was about, then became interested in participating in one of the events, which was the New York Marathon. So my training for the marathon started about 6 months ago, and I drew out a program for myself before I came, which was a fairly arduous training program. I have a bit of a background in long distance racing, triathlons and marathons. I've done a few of those before in the past. The training was very, very difficult for me. Due to my work commitments, mainly I run a small business which I'm heavily involved with, and also the time spent away from competing 10 years ago, my body is not the same as it used to be, and so, but my mind still thinks that it is, and so I suffered with a lot of injuries along the way, and also with work and managing my business, I also had a difficult time squeezing in the training. So a lot of training during the darkness and then managing injuries along the way at the same time. Talking about the run today in the marathon was an unbelievable experience. Compared to some of the other larger events that I've done, I can't think of anything that gets anywhere near the intensity of the crowd. The crowd is just something that I don't think anyone could experience anywhere else in terms of the atmosphere and the intensity and their participation and their willingness to push people along and support them along the way. And for so long too, you know, like while I might have run past them in the earlier stages of the day, everyone that I've spoken to, they keep up with the same level of enthusiasm for hours and hours on end, which I think is amazing for those people that are, towards, the rear end of the field, that they can get that kind of support. And you could not get that anywhere else because of how there are 2.5 million spectators. And so I just think that if anyone had the opportunity to compete in this event, they would be foolish to pass it in because it's just to get the finish of what I would call, you get the finish shoot of winning a race or an event somewhere else, you get that for 2 to 3 hours throughout the whole day, or longer, depending on how long you're out there. The support is something that you'll never receive at another event. The Jody Lee Foundation itself is quite a, how would you say, it's quite an important foundation because while I never knew Jody myself, and I met Nick after Jody had passed away, the significance of undetected bowel cancer is huge, and so everyone really needs to be made aware of what they need to do before they find out the unexpected, because Jack the Dancer is one of those things that is becoming more and more common word in society at the moment, for me especially, and I think everyone needs to do what they can to try and prevent before the causes involved. Wearing the tutu today was, for the people that wore it, was one of those things that a lot of people took notice of, and while they probably didn't really know what the tutu was about, they were at least aware of that people were wearing them, and then whether they got the opportunity to find out what it was about, I'm not really sure, but at least that tutu will become more famous as the Jody Lee Foundation becomes more established, and people will understand what that tutu is there for, and they'll recognise it.